I said it right that time. I'm
Good
proud
job.
of that. Okay, here we go. This says Galaxy Watch Ultra. Now, this is a natural evolution because Samsung does what Apple does when it works well.
That's not what that says.
That's not what this
No, I'm
says.
joking.
But yeah, I'm wearing an Apple Watch Ultra, and Samsung went, wait, you're saying we can charge $1,000? Not that they don't already do this, but you can charge $1,000 for a watch if we just give it a ton more battery and features, and it's just the same thing as one we already make. Cool, great.
They already had the Pro.
They already have $1,000 smartwatch.
Yeah,
But they need to just sort of. They're so tempted by the Ultra thing. I get it. They have an Ultra phone already. Why not? 47 mil.
you know, it does make more sense for them to call it the Ultra versus the Pro because that follows the phone naming scheme.
Yeah.
Have you seen the leaks for this yet, or the renders? Well, so first of all, the reason we know that it's called the Galaxy Watch Ultra and that it has LTE and is 47 millimeters is Samsung accidentally posted a support page post about it saying that and then took it down very quickly. But of course, we found it. Not we.
95 Google found it.
I think 9 to 5
Mobiles found
Google.
it.
91
Mobiles found it.
91 Mobiles found it. Yeah. But have you seen these renders? Because these were all over Twitter the other day, but I think you were out, so you may have missed this. But the design of this has got a lot of people talking.
Really? Why? It looks fine.
You think it looks fine?
Yeah.
People seem to have very polarizing opinions on this. Do you want to describe it for our...
It's kind of like a squared off circle.
a squircle.
Yeah, it's a squircle, kind of like
It's
the Apple Watch Ultra.
It's a squircle with a circle, though.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. That's fair. That's a good observation. So the screen itself is a circle and has a circular bezel, but then the frame around it is more of like a squared off circle, probably to just have more room inside for battery and things like that. I'm fine with it. That looks fine to me.
Orange dial as well, which is very Apple Watch Ultra, but also probably my favorite part of the Apple Watch Ultra is the orange accent. I've gone back and forth on liking this or disliking this. I kind of just wish it was the squircle shape without the circle on the inside.
Yeah, I would have liked more screen coverage on the front. But then again, I think all of Samsung smartwatches are circles, if
They
I'm
are.
not mistaken.
Yep.
So they're just keeping with that.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it and I dislike it. I've also been recently thinking of switching back to a Samsung watch. My problem is I need more battery, which maybe this will have. I feel like I love my Garmin watch. I've been using this for like a year and a half now. I bought it because of all the health metrics and everything, and I seem to not care about them as much. But now I've gotten to the point where I need the notifications on my wrist, and I check the time so often. I hate my phone being on vibrate or ringer, so I need something buzzing me for calendar tasks or text messages. This is really bulky.
Did you just say tasks?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'll just let that slide, but I'm proud of you.
Tasks.
That's
Thanks.
awesome.
Thank
Okay,
you. That means a lot.
Yeah.
This feels bulky. I think the Samsung watches look nicer. The battery watch is a problem. I've also thought about doing no watch because this watch tan is getting terrible.
Yeah, it's hot out here.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think I might try out the new Samsung watch, whatever it comes out, because I am using a Samsung phone now. I did like my Galaxy Watch before. I think they're some of the nicest looking ones. I want to see this in person, not versus a render, and see what it looks like.
Yeah.
But it is also just going to be big and bulky like my Garmin, and I kind of want something smaller.
Yeah, I think David was saying he did not like the way this one looked, and I kind of really do like it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not polarizing, and David just gaslit me into thinking that it is super polarizing.
Well,
It
it
looks
is
like a watch.
It does. I mean, it seems like it's only slightly bigger in display than the current max size watches you can get from Samsung, but the biggest known benefit to more chassis size is just here's some more room for battery.
Yeah.
Like it's just if that's what you're after, that is what it probably will offer. But I guess TBD because it was just a leak and then disappeared.
Well, yeah, this is a render, so this wasn't even part of the leak, so it might not even be what we're seeing. Yeah, it is slightly bigger. The Galaxy Watch Pro is 45 millimeters, so that will be a touch bigger, and I'm assuming the 47 is the screen size, not the squircle size.
Right.
Yeah, I think I get why it's a little weird that it's a circle inside of a squircle. But it is, like you said, we always say, hey, can our phones just be a little bit thicker so we can have some better battery life?
Yep.
So if that means this has over 2 days of battery life, which I still think is the minimum that I want, I'll be really happy about it.
You'll get 1.5 and you'll be thankful.
I will, and I
More
won't.
realistic. All right.
So yeah, we'll see that very soon, right?
If it comes out at Unpacked, then
Oh.
yes. If it doesn't, then maybe sometime later this year. We'll see.
Huh.
It could be at Unpacked.
I hope we see it in July.
Word. Well,
Cool.
it's your turn to pick a headline. And I have a hat. There are headlines in it.
All right. This isn't a headline. This is just the Ioniq 6N we have at the office.
Oh, the 5N.
It's the 5N.
Yeah, Ioniq 5N.
Yes, you're right. Sorry.
Oh, man, we have the 5N. It's kind of sick. But it's not like
How did you describe
practical.
it to us yesterday?
Okay, if the Ioniq 5N. So I've talked about the Ioniq 5. We've made a video about it. The Ioniq 5N is their sportier version, maybe even a track version of the Ioniq 5. Makes some sacrifices. It also straight up pretends to be a gas car. Like, and I don't know if you realize how far it goes to try to pretend to be a gas car, but it is one of the most fun and funny car experiences ever. Because when you think about it, okay, what are the advantages of an electric powertrain over a gas powertrain? Typically, it's one gear, maybe 2 gears. So you have this relentless pull of instant torque and then just pulling you forward. That's what all the most powerful, fastest, quickest electric cars have done. The Ioniq 5N has a mode that emulates a gas car, a gas powertrain, a 7-speed gearbox, and literally has paddle shifters and an engine sound.
Nice.
So you can pull through gears, and it acts like a gas car through all of the gears, meaning it's slower at lower RPMs, it builds torque at higher RPMs. You can redline it, which means you missed a shift and it will slow down and you'll feel the shifts as you're driving.
It kicks you when you do a heavy shift.
it
like,
kicks
like
you.
you literally you feel like
Yeah.
like,
And it inserts all of this with the control of the electric motor. So yes, it is slower than it could be if it just drove like it normally could, just flat out. But it's the engagement, it's the feel, it's the sounds. And boy, are the sounds. There are some serious
They're fun.
sounds.
Do you know what this reminds me of? My friend's dad, when we were kids, used to pull up to like nice looking cars at stoplights with like a Dodge Caravan full of kids. And he used to rev the engine, and then he used to fake shift and like make noises with his mouth.
Oh my God.
And this sounds like the EV version of that.
Basically,
I still do that.
You still
It has a speaker inside the cabin that is specifically over your shoulder so that it sounds like it's coming from where the exhaust would be coming from. And there's also a speaker outside of the cabin that you can turn on or off so that when you're driving, when you're banging through gears, you actually
Wait.
have people outside you hear what you're hearing.
I
This
really
is all true.
I really appreciate that you can turn it on inside the cabin and off outside the cabin, so you can you can do it. I think you should have to make the commitment of if you're listening to it inside, you have to pretend to play it outside.
It's funny. There are so many cars that like pump more sound into the cabin so that you can hear them. Like the i8, BMW i8, it's kind of like a quiet car, but they pump so much sound into the cabin that you would think your car's super loud because you want to hear it, but it's not that loud. This is kind of the opposite. It's like, yeah, I want people to hear more than they actually have to. Let's just blast everything. Yeah. There are 3 modes.
there are 3 modes.
The first one sounds, I think, the most like a normal car. It's got this low grumble.
Wait, I believe that's mode 2.
I think the first one, the top
No,
one.
the one with the grumble. You're talking about this one?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's number 2. I could be wrong about that.
Wait,
though.
let me hear the first one.
The first one sounds like this.
Oh, okay. That's
The first one is the one that has the shifts that sound like this.
okay. Okay, yeah. The other one with the grumble sounds the most
sounds like a V8.
regular car.
Yeah.
It's actually, I think they were telling me it's based on the Elantra N. Actually, no. I think the behavior is based on the Elantra N, not the sound. the behavior, the way it pulls through
Interesting.
like a 7,750 RPM red line and has, I think, either a 7 or 8 speed gearbox. I'm not going to get all this right off the top of my head, but it behaves like the Elantra N,
Yeah.
which is kind of hilarious.
This is an electric car.
Yeah. This is how it sounds when you accelerate.
And when the car shifts, you feel it. It's like not, and I don't know if it's actual like haptics or if they're just using the speakers in the car, but when you switch into that mode and you begin to hear the low engine rumble, you feel the car vibrate like there's a V8 in there. Mm-hmm. It's silly.
It just sounds like you're driving a Forza simulator.
A really, really good one
Yeah,
that
like
actually
a
goes down the
sick one.
street. Yeah, it's fully electric and it fully commits to that sound. The other two sounds, however, don't really sound like a normal gas car. I'll let you hear them. Kind of weird.
That's a little.
I think you could get used to them, but they sound more like a video game.
Listen to these
I think
shifts.
the other
again,
one
too.
sounds like a video game.
Miles said it best. The in mode 1, the sound of the gears shifting is the same sound you get if you hit a Cybertruck with a sledgehammer.
Just slamming through gears.
Sounds like giant robots are attacking.
Yeah, that's so aggressive.
It's so funny.
I think that one could fool me. It even has a little burble when you let off.
Yeah, this one. Also, sorry everyone
Spaceship.
for the shaking. Clearly, the shock mount on our binaural mic is not good enough for these raucous launches.
I would love to know in the comments, for those of you who have made it this far, who is this car for? Who is the Ioniq 5N, an electric car, fully masquerading as a gas car? What is the customer that goes, I love banging through gears, hearing the sounds, feeling the forces, and taking my car to a track, but it's got to be electric? Or is it, I want an electric car, but I want to take it to the track, and also I want to feel all these things, so why do you want an electric car? I don't know who the person is.
I feel like taking it to a track is the place you would get made fun of the most for doing, having fake sounds
Potentially.
coming out. But also it'd make a really funny video of just like showing up to track day with it. The car looks, by the way, awesome.
It looks fantastic.
I love it.
It's got a good sized back seat. It's kind of like a fast hatch type of size. It's also very similar to the EV6 GT. It's like 200 miles of range tops.
Yeah,
like
that
it's
stinks.
not the most practical car in the world, but it is a fun car.
It looks
It's really
fun. I wish you should be able to import in sound packs so you can replicate like a WRX or
Wait,
there's no way Hyundai's gonna let you do that, but maybe someone will find a way to bring in like Forza sounds and
wow.
replicate some different kinds of cars. That would be really fun. It's like you're the impression person now. Do you know like the guy that like breathes into the can and does all the different cars?
Different engine sounds.
Yeah. Your car could do that for you.
That would be.
Or you could do that guy's sound. What if you could use that guy's sounds in the cans as
And
your
you
car
hear
sound?
that car drive by and you just hear that guy's voice as he drives down the street. That would also be crazy. I kind of love that idea. I know they would never do it because Hyundai doesn't have enough cars that sound like that. They wouldn't do another car, but I love that idea.
Welcome to the Clips outro. Ellis here, normally at the other desk. Let's see what we got in our special Clips outro. Oh, weird. It says
15% of my diet is Cholula.
it actually does. That's crazy. And then in little tiny letters next to it, it says like this video.
Huh.
Great. Andrew, you want to try
I
one?
wonder what
Wait,
else
I have a
is in
feeling there's a theme here. Keep going.
Yeah.
Pull the next one. Do you have birds?
I got birds, boy. Comment on this video?
Oh, I think I know what the next one is going to
Oh.
be. But there's like a bunch, so I could kind of say anything, but I'm just going to pick one and see if it says. Yep, it does.
Oh,
It does. It says subscribe. See, I knew it.
Wow.
I knew this was good. But how? But there's more, though. What more could it possibly say?
Oh, go Sixers.
Oh,
Oh, that's weird.
that wasn't supposed to be in there.
Don't do that.
This one says, watch the entire library of Waveform podcast while you're sleeping.
You can do what you want, kids. You can do anything.
There's
I like
one
that.
last one for Marques.
Oh. What does it say? I mean, that's a lot of smarts, but also a lot of data.
Marques, what is it?